is now the bride of the one who redeemed her. God did not forget about Ruth. Remember that this book opens with a funeral, but now it closes with a wedding.
Come on now.
Sometimes it looked like it was going to be my demise, but God orchestrated my victory. So now her story that started out so sorrowful now ends in joy. Don't tell me what God can't do. Now understand that the child that Ruth and Boaz has together, his name is Obed.
That's right.
Which means worshiper.
Right.
This boy wasn't just an ordinary baby. He wasn't just an ordinary child. But this boy gave Ruth a connection with the royal family.
My Lord.
And then Obed had a son, and his son's name was Jesse.
That's right.
And Jesse had a son, and his son's name was
David.
That's right.
What I'm trying to say is that Boaz ended up becoming the great-grandfather of David. But make sure you don't forget about Ruth, the voice from the margin who becomes the great-grandmother of David. Why is it so special that she is connected to David? Because you see, it shows that God did not forget about her. She went from being an unbeliever, from being a foreigner. I'm talking about a widow. I'm talking about a homeless woman. I'm talking about a servant whose voice was silent, that gleaned in the field. Now she's connected to royalty. God did not forget about Ruth. And I don't have time to break down the whole lineage to you on this morning. But I just want to let you know that this woman by the name of Ruth, this woman that people look down on, I believe the fact that she became an ancestor of Christ was a reward from heaven.
Yes.
Ruth probably said, who would have ever thought that I would be blessed like this?
Jesus.
Who would have thought after all the suffering that God was going to reward me with something great? God did not forget about Ruth, and God did not forget about you. You see, God had you on his mind when he sent his only begotten son from eternity into time. Jesus had you on his mind when he marched up on a hill called Calvary. Jesus did not forget about you. That's why he would not come down from the cross just to save himself. He decided, y'all, to die just for you and I. And the Bible says he gave his life on a Friday. But they said it was early. It was early on a Sunday morning that he got up from the grave with all power in his hand. God bless you.
Amen.